Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, returning to Thrones of Britannia after a lengthy absence. I think it's been about a month since I did the last episode. I did not intend to take this long of a break. I've been a bit busy at the start of the month, and with the last 2 weeks I've been working on a video, working on a kind of a script for a video. So that's been taking up a lot of time, and yeah, things just kind of got away from me. But here we are, we're back to deal with whatever we were dealing with a month ago. I can't remember. Today is the day before Halloween, so I said we'd start off at Rothcroken in Roscommon, which is heavily associated with Ihahauna and events like that. We have somewhere, it's not marked out, maybe that's it there. Maybe that's it there. The portal to the underworld. There was a portal at Crochen that led to the underworld, and mystical pigs would come out from it. You had to try and count them for some reason. I can't remember why. And I think one of them jumped over Queen Maeve's chariot at one stage and she stabbed it. Big, mad, crazy stories about Rothcroken and its associations with the underworld. On the last episode I said I was going to deal with some of the places down here that we have conquered. So I suppose we'll start with Ros Alahar, which was founded by Saint Focna. And he was a disciple of either Ita or Ida, depending what way you want to pronounce it, who was a saint in Limerick. And this was just a great centre of learning and training until the arrival of the Normans. It's one of the more famous ones on the island, and it was one of the ones that was still existing into the time period when the Normans arrived. But Ida, or Ita, I should say, this was founded... Focna is said to have died around the year 600. So it was founded sometime in the mid to late 500s. But he would have studied alongside another disciple of Ida's. I should point out, Focna was blind, and his blindness was cured by some milk from Ida's sister, Nessa, who had just had a child. That kind of milk. He rubbed it in his eyes and it cured his blindness. So there you go. If you're ever having problems with your eyesight, booby milk, that'll clear it right up. Another disciple of Ida's was Brendan the Navigator. Lots of stories associated with Brendan travelling to various different places. He sailed to Iona at one stage with Cenach of Ahabo, and Columkill welcomed them and had a mass for them. But he also, there's legends of him travelling to islands off the west coast of Ireland, and going as far as Greenland, and going as far as North America. So before the Vikings, before Columbus, St. Brendan discovered it all. One of the areas that he founded was Ardfert, and one of his disciples was St. Finian, Finian Caum, Finian the Crooked, or Finian the Squinter, and he is, so it's a kind of a reference to maybe, again, he could have done with some Nessa's milk, maybe he had some eye problems, but he founded Inishfallen. So we have all of these kind of regions here in Munster heavily associated, or even in Kerry and West Cork, heavily associated with a centre of learning somewhere around Limerick, not Drumcallagher, but a centre of learning somewhere in that region. So that's some of the areas that we have here down in the far southwest of our domains. It's going to take me a while to try and figure out what the hell we're doing. Our allies are going to take Cahardonal. We're going to take Drumcallagher. I'm hoping that these guys are going to march on Clune, because I don't want to take it. Donica is raiding here. We are getting a bit of money, but I am thinking of lifting that raid and beginning the march north to meet up. I'll probably park him in Kelmoor. We have the High King prepare to go in against Dunanaul. It's going to take a while to get Donica up to Kelmore and have him prepped to head for Clonaish. And we'll have to have our other army acting in a defensive capacity here to hold off Dublin. I've no intention of taking Dublin itself. Our goal, our primary goal, will be simply to create a road to the Grianan of Alach and to Ardvaca. So I think that's what I'll do. We'll lift Donica. That's not Donica. My God, I was worried there for a moment. It's going to be a lengthy march. Oh boys, how many years is this going to take? How many actual years is that going to take? It won't even tell me. That's how long. So yeah, we're going to be probably sending what's his name in first of all. And is he still raiding?
Everybody stand on.
Yeah, he was still raiding his own territory. That's not great. So yeah, it's going to take us a while to get him up there, and I can't move Fuha. So yeah, I think that is our turn. And there we go, the news that Alach has fallen. Some of our rulers have gotten various traits. I don't know who these people are. So Cahir Donal has been taken. Oh, that's right, sure. I was wondering why Arguilla didn't fall also when these guys took there, because we haven't taken Drumcallagher yet. But there you go. Alach has fallen. And yeah, we are now the only Enail power on the entire island. We'll be able to march Fuha in to take Drumcallagher. And we will occupy. We could subjugate them. We'll have to occupy them. And there goes Arguilla. So there is absolutely nothing that this divil in Connacht will accept. Not even a declaration of friendship. Everything is insulting to him. Our fame is terrifying. He's bound by convention. He has no allies. He has no nothing. As you can expect, he will not tolerate. Where's it gone to? Arranging a marriage for poor old Donica. It's saying an X. I don't think we have the fame for that. So it's entirely possible we might be able to do that at some stage. That's the only way. That's the only way we're going to get a wife for Donica at this stage. I think you need about 40, if not more. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how the annexation works. It's not something that I planned going down the route of. I didn't plan going down the route of conquering most of the island of Ireland. But here we are. I've moved Donica. It's looking like about another year to get him up to Kelmore. But do you know what? With these guys wandering around over here, we should be able to send Flanchina across to attack them. Take Dunanaul or Throha. I think that's about it, is it? So there's the Grianan of Alach. There's Dunanaul. Probably Rathlurg. We don't need to worry too much about it. And then at some stage we'll have... So it's going to be a war pretty much for these regions. Yeah, so these four here. Once we take those four, we have what we need. So we'll have somebody to defend against attacks coming in from Dublin. And you can't move just yet. So yeah, we'll bring the turn to an end and we'll continue marching the armies northward and saving up money to try and get the various expansions that we need to achieve the fame goal. Well now, this is interesting. We have a Viking raid somewhere. We don't need to worry about that, but what is interesting... Are these rebels or something? No, I don't know why they were showing up as red. What's interesting is that the Vikings have crossed across from Dunanaul. I think this is their major army. Maybe not. I think this... I'm not too sure is this their king or not. But it doesn't look like it. But they have marched across and they're probably, potentially heading for Drumahare. I don't believe we have treaties with them. I'm not too sure.
You'll get a fair hearing.
They have a defensive pact. Oh, that's interesting. Once we go to war with them, as they have defensive pact, that's the entire... I thought we were going to be fighting two wars. One to take these regions, and then another to take the Greenon and to take Ardvaka itself. But it looks possible that we will be fighting one single protracted campaign. But yeah, he's wandered into our territory. He's wandered into our territory. I think what we will deal with first is the movement of our other forces, and then we'll come back and take a look at him. Not gonna lie, I've completely forgotten what we've just researched. But we have a new research opportunity. So we could go for upping the bodyguards of our commanders. That's an interesting route. This would give us Warrior Society. Not actually too pushed about that one right now. Not too pushed about that one right now, I don't think. Increased ammunition for all missile infantry. That's where we'll go. I think we're pretty much finished with the civic tree. I don't think we need to worry too much about what's going on over here anymore. Food seems to be a-okay. Food seems to be a-okay. So yeah, we don't need to worry about what's going on over here. Not worried about the extra legitimacy, and if it ever becomes an issue, because we're not attacking things or raiding things, we can drop this quickly for a 20 legitimacy bonus. So Ras Alahar is adding to the monastic school at Ras Alahar, which is one of the buildings that we need for the short fame victory. One of the others is here at Kashal. It's at level 3 at the moment. It's going to be 4,500 and 10 turns to bring it to level 4, so we had better start into that. I am right in saying that Clan McNoise, yeah, we're up to level 5 there, so we have one of the objectives done. What? I did forget to check what this is actually going to bring us. Public order, fame, and max number of all units in recruitment pool. Okay, now we do have a good chunk of food that will be able to absorb a lot of the costs that we have. And this place is also heading for a level 4, and it's going to increase some of our church income. So Donica and Fuha continue their march northwards, but they have now been told to head northeast towards Dublin. This incursion into our territory, it is an affront, it is an insult to the High Kingship. It is one that Flann will not tolerate. We will take our forces and we will march them from Drumahare and declare war on the Viking menace. So we have some units that are dependable in a fight. This could end up being problematic depending where those forces actually land. If they were to deal with Dublin, if they were to deal with the Isle of Man, or if they were to deal with some of the other territories around the outskirts here, I wouldn't be too pushed. But if we start seeing any of them actually coming onto the land here, or even going for Arguilla, we could be in trouble. But you know what? I'm going to invite them in.
Our warriors can take you. Fear us.
So they have withdrawn their forces. And
My warriors are unparalleled.
we'll actually be able to hit them on the border. They have some good solid units. They don't have any silver chevroned units. They have some... their version of horseboys. We're fairly even in numbers. Do you know what? It might be a tough battle. So this is a kind of a measure of Flanchina's recklessness going in against the Vikings before the forces of either his son or his other General Fuha are in place to make sure that nobody comes out from Dublin and causes a lot of trouble in Meath, which is entirely possible. We've ended up in a rather interesting scenario. I've had to move everybody up here to the high ground so that we can assault the not so high ground that they have. I think this was our starting position, but we would have been going into a kind of a gully. Has somebody been left behind? They haven't. Our lines are just that extended. So I'm sending the horseboys in against their horseboys, their melee cavalry on the flank to see if they can cause some trouble. Draw them out of position a bit. We nearly had a cavalry charge, and we do have our troops in a poor position. Our archers, I should say, are the missile... the javelins. There we go. My god, their lines are in complete disarray. So we basically have a charge. These guys are causing a lot of trouble. We've killed one. Their archers have actually killed a chunk of our troops. So we're basically having to send in the first line of swordsmen. So I think some of our horseboys have gotten themselves into a bad position. Might actually have to send the High King in to try and help them. So we'll see if we can actually get the... yeah, these guys are getting absolutely decimated. So I'm actually sending in our full cavalry retinue to try and deal with these guys. Our forces have made contact with theirs. Our missile units are still withdrawing from their spearmen. We do have a unit that is wavering. We have a lot of troops that we can actually send in to try and back them up, though. Okay, our missile units did not have a good battle. Our missile units did not have a good battle. We do have some forces withdrawing. So if we can get a rally. So their raiders and our horseboys are having a bit of a barony, as the man would say. So will we give a go at sending these guys in again? We will. Go on. One of their units is kind of getting out of position. These guys are getting into a very bad position. I don't know if my missile units will actually be able to do any damage to them. Yeah, I think it's a general... it's getting close to a general rout. The High King's retinue is charging down their javeliners. Their general is still holding. That is a hefty bodyguard. 98 is what they had. Our own forces are running in some mad direction. And here, somewhere in this mess, their general is buried. Trying to defend. And the enemy general is dead. Do we want to do a bit of a cleanup here? Because there are still some hefty units. And yeah, if they actually get anything out of Dublin that we have to deal with alongside this, we might be in trouble.
The men are leaving the field.
Did not get the horse boys into a great position.
Cavalry!
That's the only major disappointment. Finding the horse boys fairly difficult to actually use at the best of times. Now, of course, one of the other issues was we were fighting in the fog. I tried to avoid it, so that might have affected our melee units a bit. Or not the melee units, but the missile units. Now, we have taken substantial casualties. Substantial casualties. So it's a good thing that we've been upgrading these units all along, because they badly needed it. Do we have some gold chevroned units? Very nice.
Leave none alive.
I'd say now, once we deal with what's going on over here, we'll call it a day. There's 2 left. You're fine. Where's these guys? They're going to smash into them, and once they have a couple taken out, we will claim victory. I wonder, does mowing down the troops like this affect the troops that you can recruit? Because we will need to recruit troops from the shattered remnants of this army. So 59 kills for the High King, 128 and 114 for some of our spearmen, 131 for one of the swordman units. They're pretty badly hit up. 225 for that axeman unit. That is hell's bells. So like some of these guys, those numbers seem a bit peculiar. 0, 2, 82 by their general. So I haven't been recruiting many/any axemen to date. Now, I think they had their first outing and they were nearly demolished in one of the last battles, but they have more than made up for it today. So might be something we would want to do in future, even though I have a full complement of 20 here. So yeah, we will need to take on some warriors.
Off to battle.
That has driven them northwards. Their general has died. They have only 3 left. I don't know if we want to chase them down, / if we're in a position to chase them down.
We will not fail you.
That would bring us to autumn. Or that would bring us to winter, just outside Dunanaul.
Show no mercy.
We will auto-resolve. Balance tactics. Who knows, but they might have just been delivering some presents. They might have just been calling down to see how we were doing. So yeah, we'll do the warrior replenishment rate. Now the problem is that puts us in a position where we can't replenish. We're not going to replenish any troops until we take Dunanaul on the next turn. But indeed, the island is once again in its totality, Barconnach, at war. So the remaining powers on the island are now at war with us and our numerous allies. I actually have forgotten how many we have. 2, 3? 3 by the looks of it. Oh yeah, these guys have taken Clune, which should belong to these guys. Anyway, look, I don't care. I really don't care. Whatever. And Ross Alher, of course, is actually split off from everywhere else, so it's just a little island all out on its own some right. More traits have been gained. That definitely Tormentor, to say the very least. Oh no, Flanchina is becoming disloyal to himself. Right. There is Fuha's army, there is Thunika's army, so you can see how far it is before we reach this region. There is a 20 stack army prepared to march. It could march on Nace, it could march on Clonord, it could march on Canonis, so we have indeed most likely created a bit of trouble for ourselves. Let's see how the next turn goes. There is a noble child born. I think this is our grandson, because I accidentally married our daughter off to one of our generals. Hell's bells, there has been some interesting developments. I would have, so my intention, like I said, was to get Fuha to probably either Nace or Clonord to defend against incursions, because obviously Dublin was going to take its army and march in this direction. Dublin is marching south into the remnants of Leinster, so they're heading for Glendalough and Unthinver. And that's actually going to make things even harder for us, especially as, do we want to try to put our troops somewhere for the winter? I don't think so. I think we're just going to have to try and head for... Probably going to have to head for Invermore, because I don't think... We're definitely not going to get there before they take Glendalough. Now, where is Fuha's army?
My warriors are unparalleled.
God, he's moving slow. Oh, hell, he's moving slow. We'll just try and bring him up into this position and have him doing something up there. And where is the man, the myth, the legend?
Our every foe shall fall.
Now, the other thing you can see to the north is these guys have taken to the sea and they are heading southwards. It's going to be interesting to see where exactly they get to. Now, what are we going to do from here? Are we going to... Do you know what? We've wiped out the forces in this region. I think we're going to head for the Grianon of Alach next. I think we're going to head for the Grianon of Alach. We've low public order. I'm sure we do in Brefni. Oh, yeah, of course. Ugh. And we could try to build something here. His loyalty is fine, so it's just the public order that's problematic. I don't think we need to worry too much right now. We've plenty of other things to be worrying about. And of course we're getting some recruitment. Yeah, so we'll be back to full capacity within 2 turns. We'll stay here for a turn. Yeah, if we were to march on Ord Sroha, we could take that and then march north. Do you know what? If we start here, march down to Ord Sroha, Clogher, and Ordvaca, maybe Fuha would be up to take Clonleash at that stage, and that would bring the war to an end. That's literally all we need. So we're wintering there. Dunica is making a mad rush across the country, so he's going to be taking attrition, as is Fuha. We're going to see Dublin hitting some regions down here. Our biggest problem at the moment is these devils. No idea where they're going to land and what anarchy they are going to cause, presumably in the southwest. One of your subjects has recently become infatuated and wishes to marry. I have no idea who these people are. Are the Gore? Sure. Yeah, sure. What's the trait here? +3 to public opinion. -1 to command, +1 to governance. Sure. So we are seeing some problems down here. Indeed, Limerick has been hit with rebels who have taken Inishkarthig, which could give Connacht an excuse to come in and take it and cause even more problems. We have indeed lost Glendalough.
None shall stand against us.
I think we're going to see the loss of Invermoor as well, and it looks like it's going to be at Clunmore, where Donica will meet the Viking army. Do we want to? Well, we're not in a position to do so. He's 1 unit short in comparison to these guys. We have some research available. So the Freeman Javelin men would become Kerns. Do you know what? Yeah, sure. We'll continue down this route for a while. We have updates for the Governor of Ossory, so we'll just continue going with governance, and that's putting us up to a nice chunk of money per turn. That would be enough money to upgrade one of the main buildings, but we don't have a main building to upgrade at the moment. It's going to be 6 turns before we can go for Ross Allahar again. Who knows? But we might have the Greenon of Alloch. The only problem is that it is clear that this army is heading either for Dunanaul or it's planning to make landfall and head for... They'd never head for Dromahare. So do we want to leave the High King here for a turn?
We are eager for glory.
To see where they go? I think we will. I was trying to think, is there anything else we need to do? Fuha, where have you gone to?
None
Oh,
shall stand
hell.
against us.
Look at this for a march that this man has before he gets to Clonish. We'll put him going in that direction. That's going to be a hefty march. What are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4. A full year. It's going to take him a year to march from... basically from Cashel to the border of Mide. Well, there you go. That's going to keep him busy for a while. And we will continue on. Bring the spring of 901 to an end. So the Devils, they are indeed attacking us at Dunanaul. So it's probably a good idea that we waited here. They have a slight numerical advantage. They have a lot of Axemen. This is the first time that we are fighting a non-Irish army. This would be an army... well, I suppose you'd kind of call the Vikings non-Irish. Berserkers... we will manually fight the battle. This is so unusual for me to be the one being attacked. I think this has only happened on a handful of occasions. Here is Dunanaul. So we have a little... the holiday resort down by the beach, and then we have the main city up here, which we might see their forces rampage through. I was completely confused as to why I wasn't allowed to pick the weather, because there's only been a handful of occasions in which I haven't been the one attacking. Victory here at Dunanaul will open the road to Armagh. Oh, well, to the Greenon of Alloch, first of all. Defeat could see the end of the life of the High King. What in the name of God? Huh. This is interesting. Not gonna lie, wasn't expecting this.
Salty raiders gonna take our lands.
Oh boys, somebody's got themselves a megaphone. So what do we have here? Who the hell are you? Can they come ashore? Naval battles wouldn't have been massively common in Irish history. We do know that for Brian Boru, control of the Shannon was massively important, and Moel Shocknail attempted to basically cut off the Shannon at one stage. What the hell are we going to do here? They tried to basically barricade the Shannon. Some of these are ranged. They're basically just trying to assassinate the High King.
Cavalry, full gallop. Crush spearmen. End them.
So are they coming ashore? That is gas. Look at this. It's a pity they've managed to get their soldiers in first of all, or not their soldiers, but their horsemen in to kind of cause trouble. So some of their scouts are being driven back. I'm trying to hit their scouts, but we're not doing a great job. So yeah, they're actually doing a fantastic job here of managing to kind of distract us long enough to get their forces ashore. So very great job. Now the only handy thing is they might actually be coming up piecemeal. And here they have the bodyguard, some spearmen, and some archers on that flank. Do we want to try and push forward and hit them before they can get their troops into line? Oh, the devils, they're burning Dun and Owl as they go. So they are indeed sending some troops forward. Do you know what? We're going to give an all-merciful downhill charge. Possibly the momentum will carry us through their line. This is the strongest of the two predominantly javelin melee units. So I've kind of two melee divisions. And this one was the strongest, but it has actually taken a bit of a beating. So charging the full unit downhill into their front line. And they're sending in their king. Now I've turned off the skirmishing in these guys, so they're going to basically stand and fight. Now it is a spear unit, so it mightn't be the best of ideas, the spear guard. But if we can catch them out of position, our units are putting up a pretty good defense. Oh, that charge did not go well. Their general is dead. Well, that was unexpected. This has occurred a lot faster than was anticipated. And we are, of course, pouring missiles down into the midst of our own units as well, which is a bit of a problem. The general has gone in. Let's see if we can pull them out. So we've given them a bit of a beating. So 2 units are being sent in, and if I can, I'll actually get these guys to charge the spear guard. Then we can prep for another charge from our horsemen. They have taken a lot of damage from that last charge, though. I think they've pretty much been routed. It appears to be a general rout. We'll have to try and take out a good chunk of them. So I'm going to start pulling back the javelin units, not to they cause lots and lots of trouble for us. Ah, you divils, where are you going to run to? Where are you going to run to, you fools? Your boats are gone! Call an Uber for the Vikings. So that was a really cool combat. I didn't really know that was a thing that could be done, that you could have naval landings like that. And,
I shall compose an ode to
that you'd end up with scenarios like what we've just seen. That was pretty cool. So we pretty much have 3 engagements that we're still taking part in. We're whittling down these guys way over there. The High King has just made a unit evaporate. You know what? Take out those guys while you're there. And we've knocked a good chunk off of these guys over here as well. The poor owl horse boys have completely run out of ammo, so they're hunting down some Huskarls. Look at this for utter decimation of this unit. This is the unit that was sent in and took the absolute full force of the, well, I was going to say the full force of the Viking charge. They were the ones that charged downhill, smashed into the Vikings. What must that have been like, watching them coming out with the sun god shining down on us as these guys charge downhill. But we've managed, yeah, I think we've managed to deal as much damage as we're going to deal today. We've dealt as much damage as we're going to deal today. I would hope that we have wiped out the majority of their forces. I think there was a couple of size 30 units that made it away. They're going to have to limp back to the Grianon of Alach somehow, which, like I said, the way is open for us, but with the numbers like this, I'm not too sure what's going to go on. 1,700 losses, 67 remaining. Oh wow. A 27 and 2 11s. That's pretty much it. Now the thing is that I would say that most of those losses were inflicted in the cleanup at the end. 198 kills from our X unit. Flanchin has gotten himself a gold chevron. The horse boys have taken a bit of a beating. That Axe unit has taken a bit of a beating. The Arig warband has taken a bit of a beating. I think we will indeed have to replenish. They only have 3 units left. We will take on warriors. That's going to be awkward that they've gone back out to sea. So we could make a show of strength or increase unit morale. Celebrate the heroes. I think we'll go for the public order because that might help in Drumahair. We will make a show of strength. Enemy has been killed in battle. Nobody's loyalty has taken a battering, so that at the very least is good. And yeah, we have our unit in Dunanaul. What do we do with it? Because if those guys, like I said, if they head for land again, we're in trouble. They will be able to take Dunanaul without any problem. And then they're going to be able to just... Well, they won't be able to clean up. They have a long way to go before they want to actually hit. Before they can hit anywhere that belongs to us. The Viking rebels are becoming stronger. Ardfirth is pretty much the closest place they can go to. That was a heroic victory, was it? The heroic victory of Dunanaul. And of course, Invermore has fallen. The problem now is that I'm not entirely too sure where those guys are going to go. It doesn't make a huge difference, though. Because we can hit their forces at Invermore and hopefully stop this march southwards. Where is Fuha? So we'll get a couple of things done. Where is Fuha?
Bravery is legendary.
You're marching bravely. What brave marching you're doing. We have the money. Not a huge amount of money, but we have the money. We have the food. Not a huge amount of food, but we have the food. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? At Drumahare. Raise an army. So we'd be looking at recruiting somebody. There's Ardgar, who's there as our governor. I do like the look of Tiernan. I'm not too sure how this name is pronounced. It looks like Aurora. Again, we'll have to confirm. He is a warrior, so I'll take him. And what we're going to do, the Battle Crows of the Morrigan. What we'll have to do is garrison him. We'll give him a unit of melee cavalry. We'd probably need to give him about 8 units. We'll give him the Gold Oglig. Ah, so that's who the Axe lads were. We'll give him some Gold Oglig. The Arig swordsmen have put on some hats, if I'm correct. We'll go for mailed Fina. And we will go for 2 units of Kern spearsmen. And this is going to have to be maybe a cleanup crew. The problem is that, like, if we move Flenchinen now and those guys land at Dunanaul, then they're going to go to well over 4 or 5 units. So we're going to have to leave Flan there for the turn, I have a feeling. Because if not, it's going to cause too much hassle. I'm thinking about it. Oh, hell's bells, I'm thinking about it. Look at that for a massive drop in food by recruiting that extra unit. So yeah, we're going to have to do something about food. We're going to have to do something about food. Even though once we start taking on some of these other places, they might start sorting out the food scenario right. We've moved Fuha, haven't we? We have. And where is
Now we're talking.
the unmarried prince? Now we're talking.
It's a battle. Go full out.
We have a slight numerical advantage, but look at the plethora of chevrons that these lads have. This will be a tough battle for Donica. I haven't really found any place good to put the sneaky boys, because I'd be able to shove them forward to the white line, especially as I don't know where the enemy is actually going to be. If they are down in Unthinvermoor itself, then that would have been a good place to put them, but I don't know, so I'm kind of bringing everybody up here to the height to either counteract if they stay up here. And it looks like we've absolutely no idea. Oh, they're there. So yeah, it would have been, that's a bit of a pity. But, well, there you go. Now, the issue that we have is we're just about to come into the range. We're not too far from the range of their bowmen. They have a lot of melee, or I should say ranged, units. I have my horse boys down here. That's why some of them are very suspiciously pointed in this direction. I was hoping to get them in and maybe hit the mailed horsemen. They have a lot of melee. And by melee, I mean missile units. So we're basically prepping, I would say, what's going to be another rush down the hill. Head first. They are getting very suspicious about the constant moving of the horse boys.
There they are.
They've kind of reorged their units again. I think we'll just have to send these guys in to just start peppering their archers, and
Let's get to it.
Start slowly bringing these guys down. I think our horse boys would get the crap kicked out of them by their raiders. We might try and send them in anyway.
True Britons forever.
And this is the problem over on this side. Is that they're going to send their mailed horsemen down. Now, I was thinking we wouldn't be lucky enough that that they direct them towards our cavalry.
Drive those horses. For plunder.
Okay, didn't go terrible. Didn't go terrible. But yeah, you really do need to like
Ride hard.
watch these guys.
Loose missiles.
So now we can turn the skirmishing back on
Aim for their hearts.
and prep, I would say.
Strike now.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. That's not going to work because they'll just keep retreating. So yeah, the horse boys. God damn it, horse boys. The horse boys got wrecked. Ooh, this is not looking great. This is not looking great. This could be one of our first defeats. We're just having a horrendous time against their cavalry units. That's the major problem.
Cavalry! Cavalry! True Britons forever! General! End all men!
So we're going to have to try and send the generals in against their cavalry. Or against their archers. And pull them back out before they get into trouble. They are taking a bit of a beating. Yeah, there's a good chunk of troops routing. Well, I think we're going to have to do a couple of risky charges. One of our spearmen units was doing nothing. This is our major problem. They have a lot of spear units that are that we haven't dealt any damage to. What are these guys doing? So here's their general.
Horsemen! Speed up, riders! Cavalry!
Ooh, more units leaving the battlefield. So this is you see, this is what happens when they don't get their general killed straight away.
Cavalry full gallop!
They actually put up a good effort. So their melee units have caused absolute havoc. Or they're again. Why do I keep doing this? They're
Bring it on!
their archer units have caused havoc. We will need to try and whittle these guys down though with a couple of charges.
Briskly now! Quick march! End them!
Not looking great. And of course, the worst thing is that our units are not pushing forward. Why would they when I'm not giving them orders? But so I don't know if we're going to see this. If one of these two flanks could collapse, it would be fantastic. They're sending in a cavalry charge of their own that we can't respond to immediately. I think they've pretty much committed everything, have they? Yeah, everything has been committed, bar their king. They are sending in a couple of charges which are causing a lot of trouble. We'll take these guys out and actually make sure that they don't rally. Try and send the forces in from the rear, but they actually have the rear pretty well defended by their king. I think we're looking at a collapse, are we? If we could actually engage their king and give me some room to start hitting these spear units. Oh, I think everyone lost their nerve all at the same time. So what we want is to try and get that unit to stop regrouping. Well, they've kind of taken the wind out of our sails in terms of an actual charge. Oh, this has been a hefty battle. They're going for our general. Oh, they just managed to get into a formation to resist the charge. The devils. Hell's bells. That was costly. That was costly. That was expensive. That was difficult. We'll have to mow these guys down. We will have to take out their king and prevent him from making his way back to Dublin. It's amazing to see what can be achieved with efficient use of missile units. They really did a great job in dealing with everything that we threw at them, basically, with their missile units there at the start. Their range is much greater than ours. They were able to use their skirmishers more efficiently than we were able to use our horseboys. And the horseboys, do you know what? They did their job. They kept Donica alive. They whittled down any forces that came anywhere near him. And Donica and his other unit were able to kind of charge and countercharge a unit that was up here. So send one of them in as a charge, then withdraw them while the other one was coming in. So there goes their general. We'll have to try and take out some units here because they're going to be falling back on Glendalough. But yeah, I think we took 19 units onto the field. 10 of them are making their way off. So they've actually gotten, yeah, they've gotten a lot of their troops off the field as well, though. That's the only problem. And Donica has gotten himself a gold chevron. I think that's as much hassle and damage as we can cause. There's a 12, there's a 1. There's a 10. We're not going to... Will we get to them? We'll hit them and put it up onto top speed. Nah, not a hope. They're getting caught in the silage, in the hay. No. Oh. There were some hefty losses. 1,068 troops remaining. One unit is down to 21 men. One of the horseboys is down to 8. I have a feeling we won't be seeing them again. 221 kills by Donica. 197 by one of the Axemen units. And we can see here their spearmen, 82, 79, 87, 71, 80. So hefty, hefty, hefty kill totals by all of them. And somehow they've actually held on. Fair play to them. It has been a total annihilation of Dublin's army. So it was well worth taking that risk, I think, and sending in Donica. So their king has been killed.
War is what we do best.
War is indeed what we do best, and you did do a great old job of it there. You did a great old job of it. We'll have to recruit. We'll have to recruit something. I'm inclined towards... Yeah, do you know what? We have a lot of infantry. I'm inclined towards another Arik horseman. I think they would have done a good job there in defending Donica. I'm not doing great with the horse boys, so I think we'll leave those off. I was going to say, I'm still confused about what to do up here. I was going to say that I'd march Flan's army out, but the problem is if I do that, this army is not going to be recovered enough to march up and liberate Dundanaul when it falls. So I think I'm going to have to... We're going to have to keep Flan parked here for another year. Do you know what? We had a great victory over here. We don't need to take too many risks. We're gonna move Dunica's army up, take Glendalough, and possibly put him sieging or put him raiding in Dublin just to watch whatever comes out from here, because the most important thing is just to keep territory. I'm not going to be taking Dublin. So yeah, we will make sure, because I can't remember, it's been so long, that we moved Fuha. We did indeed. And yeah, we're going to have to leave everybody where they are.
Warriors are unparalleled.
That's the major problem. He's not going to be able to reach it then on the next turn. Oh, this is a nuisance. This is a nuisance. The fact that you can't split off armies or leave any type of a defensive unit here against, like, the fact that my entire 20-stack army is being held back by 4 men in boats is just a bit annoying. So we've more than we bargained for. Is that going to impact... Oh no, it's a major diplomatic penalty because of our showboating there a turn or two ago. Monya has become a coach. Fair play to him. These guys have not moved.
The men are eager to get to it.
These guys, now they should be... Yeah, they're still decimated.
None shall stand against us.
So I'm going to move... They're going to suffer attrition if they go here. They'll suffer attrition if they go there. They won't if they go there.
Our bravery is legendary.
And we will begin
The men are eager to get to
the
it.
process of marching Flanchina on the Grianon of Alach.
Hurry it up.
These guys, I imagine, are going to come out, take Dundanaul. We should hopefully be in a position to retake it immediately with what I have here, I would hope.
Gills.
Donica is in a position to march on Glendalough.
Show no mercy. Immediately.
We will occupy. And that brings us back into a nice profitability per turn. And we're into a nice food surplus. So we have restored the borders of the kingdom. And with Fuha,
Is what we do best.
I would like to
Move it now.
have him take Clonleash, but we do need somebody to watch against Dublin. Now, I'm not too sure now where the actual capital of Dublin is. Is it Dublin or is it over on the Isle of Man? It looks like it's Dublin. They don't look to have built a new army here. Actually, we can see... There it is. Is this the king? This is the new king of Dublin in Clonleash, and that's problematic because that puts them in a position where they could be heading... I mean, he could just take Kilmore on the next turn. So, that's problematic. We have research. And you know what? I'm actually going to go for the bodyguard. We could have done with a stronger bodyguard there for Donica. I have a feeling that Kelmore is going to fall. Fuha is a good bit away from actually getting to Kelmore.
None shall stand against us.
We did put him on a slight bit of a detour. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue. So we're going to be running around and mopping up areas. Let's see what the winter of 901 will bring. I'm expecting these guys to hit the shore and begin recruiting some troops. I'm expecting Kilmore to fall. And then we'll get Donica up and we'll put him raiding around Dublin just for a while, even though I'd probably need to get him up in this direction. We have a faction destroyed somewhere. Gormla has had another child. There are more raiders. Where are they coming from? They're way up there. We don't need to worry about them. Right. We might as well keep this man where he is for the winter, actually. Here's Fuha. We will get him to march up, because there, indeed, we can see their king is heading for Kelmore. Look at this. Look at this. 12. So their decimated 4-stack army made landfall and now has 12. We'll have to march him back.
Eager to get to it.
I suppose I could have gone out to sea and actually fought them, could I?
Move on out.
You can count on us.
So we'll have to retake
Show no mercy.
Donegal. Do you know what? Look, we have a huge army in comparison to their battered and bruised. I would like to play it out and actually gain some XP with people, but yeah, these battles are becoming a bit monotonous. So we will auto-resolve. We will be balanced. And of course, we had a good chunk of reinforcements coming in as well. So there we go. The second battle of Donegal. We will occupy.
My reputation is growing.
And that throws us back a turn now. It does put us in a position, however. Now this guy's going to take some attrition, but it does put us in a position where he can actually march on Ordsroha on the next turn. So we're closing in. We're closing in around the Vikings. We're closing in around them. We have some damaged buildings in Donanaul. I haven't been looking at what it actually does. It has an overseas market and a grand cloth market. So we'll repair that. It's at level 5. It's bringing in commerce, which isn't of massive interest to us. It's pricey to fix. And here's the overseas market, which is bringing in a bit more commerce. We need to repair it before we can change it to anything else. Oh, the Green Lawn of Alec is only at level 2. Oh god, oh, the amount of money we're going to have to sink into that. The time and money that we'll need to sink into that.
Bravery is legendary.
His loyalty is good. So he could become a potential governor, actually, of this region. So what will I give him? Will I give him a scribe for governance? Yeah. So he's our general. He's going to be put in charge of taking Ordsroha, but I'm actually going to up his governance. And here is an actual governor who has much lower governance and equal loyalty, because we've been making the priest follow him around to report back on what he's doing. So we can now start to give him a scribe. And we have attrition from his unit. We'll keep Donica, like I said, where he is to prevent that attrition for this part of the year. Fuha has moved up as far as he can. We will bring 902 to an end. I won't be finishing off the next turn. We'll just see what we have to deal with. I'm imagining that they're going to head for Kelmoor and recruit 20 bajillion units. So Fair Car is going to generate -1 loyalty. We'll say the kingdom comes first because Flan has a ton of influence. Monya is an imbecile. Well done. So yes, indeed, they have marched on Kelmoor and they have generated 20 bajillion. I was not expecting 12.
We will not fail you.
We'll continue the march in that direction with Donica.
We do best.
We'll get him to here.
For the glory
I don't think he'll have the distance to... Oh, he does. No, he doesn't. To put on the raiding stance. I'll probably have to pull him in here because I'll probably have to keep bringing him up.
We are eager for
And we have some of our allies wandering around in this region. I would rather that they dealt with this scenario first of all, but thanks for helping. Here is...
the men are eager to get to it.
look at this for a disaster.
Go full out!
our every foe shall fall.
We'll march up in that direction. We have the development, the joys of the whole. So we'll go for the shield for commander's unit. Melee for the commander's unit. Public order. And household raiders would be replaced with household horsemen. We'll go for this one anyway to start with. Right, there we go. I could bring this turn to an end because nothing's actually happened, but I think I'll hold off. We have 2 turns to go until we have Ras Alahar complete, and then we have another round of expansion to go there. Kashal, we have 4 turns and another round of expansion. We have a lot of work to do once we take the Greenon of Alach, and the only other place then is Ordvaka, which we have no sight on at the moment. We have forces loyal to us coming up by sea. I'm not too sure where they're going. They might be heading for Dublin. They might be heading for the Isle of Man. And we are just 1 turn away from marching on the Greenon of Alach, but we have a massive, massive, massive problem in the midst of our kingdom in Mide itself. Is it in Mide? No, it actually hasn't reached Mide yet. It's the Viking menace wandering around. They've taken Kilmore, which is part of Dromahare. Yes, I was trying to figure out what it was actually part of. So Kilmore is part of Breffni, so that has fallen to the Vikings. We're sending Faha up to deal with them. Hopefully they will still be in a kind of a bruised and battered status by the time he gets there. This is a completely brand new army, whereas Faha has some well-trained, unparalleled forces, so hopefully he will deal some damage to them. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode. My apologies that it's been so long. Like I said, I'm working on another video, so I'd hope that it'll won't be as long before I get the next one out. Maybe we get back to 1 or 2 a week. We'll see how things go towards the end of the week. Like I said, the main priority at the moment is the other video that I'm working on. Please do, if you haven't done so already, check out the Twitch channel. The links are below in the description. There should also be a link below to the secondary channel, Maniacal R&D, where I've been putting up some shorts over the last month. So it hasn't been, if you've been over on Twitch or if you've been over on the secondary channel, it hasn't been a full month of absence from videos and content. So like I said, thank you all very much for joining me. Have a fantastic Halloween. And maybe pay a visit to Rothkroken and the portal there to the underworld.